In astrology, which house signify love? That was a question that a young man had asked a few days ago. Today, I will answer. The whole source of the love that you seek is in the fifth house of your birth chart. Love is one thing, marriage is another thing. Marriage is only a working partnership. Love is something else, altogether different than what marriage is. Marriage is the decision of the intellect. Love is an entirely different matter. Love has absolutely no relation to logic, to rules, to intellect. It is quite unconnected to thought. Love happens. The word happen is beautiful. I personally love this word because whatever happens is never planned. It just happens. Love, life is never planned. It just happens. And so does sannyas. The master says, love is life, love is God, love is sannyas. That is the reason why fifth house is significant. That is the reason why fifth lord is significant. And that is the reason why love is significant. Love needs tremendous courage. When a man or woman is fired up with love, they can go to any extent to attain the love that they seek. Fifth house also signify courage. Remember, fifth house is represented by the sign Leo, the lion. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is that little voice at the end of the day that says, I'll try again tomorrow. Love is the source that brings courage. This love can be the love for a person or for the nation. Freedom fighters became fighters because they had a tremendous love for the nation. Bhagat Singh, Lokmanya Tilak, Veer Savarkar, Mahatma Gandhi, and many freedom fighters were aflamed with love for our country. It is always love that triggers the whole story of life. It is always love that brings life to our being. Without love, a man is just a body, an empty temple without the deity. With love, the deity arrives, the temple is no more empty. In the beginning, you are seeking love, then someday, at some place, you fall in love. But the real maturity comes when you no more fall in love, but you become love. The master says, falling in love, you remain a child. Rising in love, you mature. By and by, love becomes not a relationship, it becomes a state of your being. Not that you are in love, now you are love. The whole purpose of life is to become love. Love is the goal, life is the journey to attain the goal, love. Only a man who can become love can live life in totality, and only a man who can live life with love can one day attain the Buddhahood. It is all interconnected, and the thread that connects love, life, sannyas is love. A man or woman whose fifth house is aflame with Mars, Sun, Jupiter, or Venus, or Moon is indeed a man of love. He loves romance, but one must understand that a romance can be of many layers, from the base to the high level. One must understand that the Oxford Dictionary defines the word romance as a kind of adventure, and adventures can be of many levels and of all kinds. And the very first adventure that love initiates is to jump into the unknown. Once you are in love, once you are aflame with love, once your whole being is fired up with love, you can jump, you will jump. That is how many lovers have jumped and risked their life. And there has been absolutely no regret, because love never regrets. When you love, you simply love. And when this love is raised to the higher altitudes, spiritualism, then you have someone as beautiful as John the Baptist, Peter the fisherman, Ananda, Arjuna, who has so much love for their master that they never looked back, never asked a single question, never raised any doubts. They simply jumped into the unknown. They followed the Master. The love that happened between John and Jesus, the love that happened between Sariputta and Buddha, the love that happened between Gautama and Mahavira, Arjuna and Krishna, Chuang-Tzu and Lao-Tzu, these are the real love stories, the highest pinnacles of love. Love has many layers. The love that Buddha has will be of different quality than the love that Hitler has. Hitler's love will be hot. That is what the commoners know about love. To them, love always have to be hot. Even when they eat dog, they want hot dog. So the concept of love for the commoners is of hot love, sexual love. But Buddha's love is like that cool breeze. There is no demand, no conditions. When you are in the omnipresence of Buddha, the love that you receive is different than the hot love that you have known all your life. The hot love that people have is not love in totality. It also has the shade of hate. The fights is a result of that hate. When the fight is over, you cool down, and then again you are in the bed making love. You see, this is how the love is of the physical world. But in Buddha's love, you will find absolutely no shade of hate. And so many may also find Buddha's love as boring because there is no spice in his love. You may say anything to him, and yet he is not going to react. He is simply going to smile, and his smile is so penetrating that if you can receive, then his smile can simply penetrate into the deepest valleys of your heart and move you within. Buddha is the highest, the purest state of love that knows only to share, to give, and just to give. You can only give if you have. Buddha has it. In fact, Buddha is not just filled with love, Buddha is love. Before leaving his body, Buddha had said to his disciples, "Do not make statue of me, because once I am gone, I am gone. The statue can go on deceiving you for centuries. So please do not make statues of me once I am gone." For 500 centuries, no statue was made of Buddha. But later, people started building statues of Buddha. When Buddha himself had said, "Do not make statue of me." There is a very deep meaning to the beautiful message that Buddha had shared with his disciples. And it is significant for you all to understand. It is always easy to follow a statue. It is of Buddha, but it is dead. It cannot move you, cannot disrupt you, cannot pull you away from your illusions. But alive Buddha can ask you to do something that is in your interest but not in your favor. The alive Buddha can ask you to drop everything and follow him. Then it will be difficult because you are attached to each and everything in your life. Right from your car to your home, to your wife, to your children. And so alive Buddha is dangerous. A statue is better. Make a nice statue, offer a nice garland of beautiful flowers, burn an incense stick, and that is all. You are safe. The statue is not going to ask for anything. You can safely say that I love the statue. But you will think twice if in the place of the statue, the real Buddha, the alive Buddha is present, because then the master is not dead. He is alive, and people always find it a challenge to follow the master's word. Because those words disrupt the mind, and you are still caught up with the mind. The mind loves statues of masters. It is a safe bet. But the same mind will start shivering if the real Buddha comes. Because Buddha is the state of no mind, and love exists only when there is no mind, but only the heart, the consciousness. This no mind is the Buddha. Beyond this no mind, you will never find another Buddha. To search for enlightenment or nirvana beyond this no mind is impossible. The reality of your own self-nature, the absence of cause and effect, is what is meant by no mind. Your no mind is nirvana. To conquer others, you may succeed someday at some birth cycle. But to conquer your mind, to become the master of your mind, is not so easy. It may take a lifetime or many births until the Buddha is born. Buddha is not a name, it is a title. It is a title that reveals the state of no mind. Buddha means the state of no mind. Buddha is no mind. No mind means no logic, no head, and love happens only when there is no logic, no head, absolutely no head. Love is many things, none of them logical. There are many aspects that may initiate love marriage. One of them is when the fifth house lord connects in some way with the seventh house. A strong possibility of a love marriage is signified when there is a contact between the fifth and the seventh house. Rarely does one find love in marriage. There are individuals who are destined to find love only outside marriage. Universe is vast, very vast. The mind cannot contain the vastness of this universe. And so people who are slaves of their mind cannot feel the vastness, and along with it the many millions and millions of situational scenarios that evolve in certain individuals' life. There are many such in millions around this vast human world who enjoy sexual pleasures, emotional support, hand holding only outside marriage and not in marriage. So, marriage definitely has nothing to do with love. In a rare case, in exceptional case, if marriage happens out of love, then it is a different thing. But statistics show that maximum divorce cases are from love marriages than otherwise. One should always ask, why has marriage failed? In the first place, we raised it to unnatural standards. We tried to make it something permanent, something sacred, without knowing even the ABC of sacredness, without knowing anything about the eternal. Our intentions were good, but our understanding was very small, almost negligible. So instead of marriage becoming something of a heaven, it has become a hell. Instead of becoming sacred, it has fallen even below profanity. But still, marriage remains an institution that is going to remain forever. For the sole reason that marriage is a part of tradition, a practical medium to attain material gains. During the imperial age, the kings would have many marriages with many princes of princely states, because those marriages would secure the material gains and strengthen his authority over more provinces and more people. So marriage is always going to remain. It is not a necessity, but it has been made compulsory, because it has absolutely nothing to do with love, but more to do with status and society. For love, only fifth house and fifth house lord's connection with Venus is enough. For love marriage, the seventh house connection with the fifth house is necessary. Generally, women or men having Mars-Venus conjunction are highly sexual by nature. So sexuality is seen, but this sexuality has absolutely nothing to do with marriage. Venus Moon conjunction is a highly sexual conjunction. This is also a pleasure-seeking bhogi person and enjoys many sexual pleasures in life, along with other luxuries of life. Venus Rahu conjunction always wants more and more sex, real-time sex that lasts longer and not just for a few minutes. Venus-Uranus conjunction, these people like to have unique way of doing sex. They always try out new things to add excitement to their sexual experiences. Venus Neptune. This person lacks actual action in the bed. He goes on imagining and fantasizing, and in the process irritates the partner. Human life comes with many flavors, and a human becomes godly when there is absolutely no flavor left. Nirguna. When there is no sattvic guna, no tamasic guna, and no rajasic guna, but nirguna. Nar to Narayan, that is the whole journey. My fellows, that is the whole journey. Nar means human. The nature of human is of pleasure seeking. And Narayan is the nature of being a yogi, God seeking. So the transformation is the goal of this journey. From pleasure seeking Nar to God seeking Narayan, yogi. God is a person, godliness is a quality. You cannot become God, but you can be godly. Birth happens. Today, a woman is not happy in her marriage, not satisfied in her marriage, then she will come back. Today, a man is not happy in his marriage, not satisfied in his marriage, he will come back. This is how the cycle of birth and rebirth continues. You keep coming back, and society has made this more complicated because society blocks the men and women to seek pleasures from elsewhere. And when there is no other option, the woman, the man dies with the desire unfulfilled and takes birth again to satisfy the unfinished business. This whole cycle of rebirth could have been avoided had they satisfied their desire in the same life itself. But the question of wrongdoing and right doing comes in between them and their desires. Indeed, a very touching situation that only a master can understand, because the master is beyond the society's so-called wrongdoing and right-doing theories. The master says, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right-doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. The master can understand you. The real guru will accept you without asking you a single question. The real master will never judge you. He can understand your heart than anybody else would. Always remember, morality is subjective, is totally situational based. Morality is totally based on your level of consciousness. Remember Sri Krishna. Remember the many ways that otherwise are not considered to be ethical that Krishna implemented during the Mahabharata war. Now, would you call Krishna immoral? No, that would sound too stupid. Because what Krishna did was spontaneous. His morality was spontaneous and in the state of total consciousness. Whatever you do, if you are doing it with consciousness, with full awareness, then that is the real morality. It is not fake. It is not because of any outside pressure. It is spontaneous and very much a result of your own consciousness. The master says, my whole effort is to make your morality spontaneous. You should be conscious and alert and respond to every situation with absolute consciousness, then whatever you do is right. It is not a question of actions being right or wrong. It is a question of consciousness, whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously like a robot. When the master says, I will meet you on a field which is beyond the wrongdoing and right doing, he addresses the field of consciousness. How beautiful is this and how deep. Only a meditative being can truly relate, can truly understand. It is pure bliss. Fifth house is very important because love is very important. Without fifth house and fifth house Lord support, love is missed. It is simply missed. And only a man who can love can also love someday God, can also go to the extremes to experience God, can also become a Buddha. Because he can jump, he can be courageous, he can go beyond mind, and only a man who can go beyond mind can do something that is out of mind. A man who has gone all his way to attain the love of his life has all the necessary qualities to attain God as well. Such a man is spiritual because love is spiritual, and he has already surrendered to love. So going a step ahead, crossing the boundary of the kingdom is not going to be difficult for him. And that is what Prince Siddhartha did when time came. When the call of the divine came, he simply left his kingdom and became the Buddha. Only a man who can dive, who can jump, can become a Buddha someday. And you will dive, you will jump, you will show courage only when you are truly a follower of your heart. That is the reason that I have always encouraged you all to follow your heart. The society says follow your head, follow your logic, but the divine compassionate master is encouraging you all to follow your heart. Only then love is possible, only then the dance is possible, and only then this life is possible. Always follow your heart knows the way. Run in that direction, for the heart is always right, always. The only lasting beauty is the beauty of the heart. Meditation is the path that can help you reach your heart. Heart meditation. Focus on your heart. Be attentive to your breathing. And meditate every day. And always remember, you are not alone.